call tonight. So if you have not been on the call before, you didn't meet me last week, my name is Caroline Foster, and I promise you I'm not the only one you're going to be hearing from every week. It just so happens that I talked last week a little bit and this week. But again, I just want to remind you first and foremost of the structures of these calls. So basically what we're going to be doing every week is we're going to hop on here. We're going to talk for maybe 5 minutes max about a topic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually do it. Okay. So as opposed to a lot of these calls that you get on where it's learning, and then you walk away and you're like, what do I go do? Like, I literally just feel like sometimes even after the national wake up calls, they're all amazing trainings, right? But my list of to-dos is like, okay, now I need to go change 15 million things in my business. So the purpose of these calls is to really say, hey, let's talk about this topic for 5, 10, maybe at most 15 minutes max. Now let's go do it. So last week, if you weren't on the call, we took time to all introduce ourselves, to talk about our big, scary goals. And so the things that we're going to be doing each week are going to be things that are going to help you reach those big, scary goals. And what we'll be doing as well is every month just checking in on those big, scary goals. So kind of going around saying, okay, where are we at with that big, scary goal that you set for yourself for this month? Like I said, we will have different coaches talking on different topics. So you're going to be able to hear from Lindsay and Megan and Patrice and Jessica. It just so happens that this week you're going to hear from me. So if I have not met you before, let me introduce myself again in case you're new to this call. My name is Caroline Foster. I'm a 2-star diamond coach. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am full-time in marketing, and then I'm also a mom and a wife, and I kind of just juggle all of those things, work my business in power pockets of my day. So that's really important to know is that I guess that's kind of what sets me apart from the other coaches on the call is that I am still working full-time. And so for those of you who work full-time, you know, working your business in those power pockets, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I do. And let's see, what else? One thing that I am super passionate about in my business, particularly, is really helping my coaches who have these big dreams, whether it's to quit their full-time job or to, you know, help pay for their health insurance or whatever it is, travel, all of those things, help them reach that goal. And so that's really why we created these calls, is because we said, you know what, we really want to get behind our coaches and help them reach those big goals, not just talk about it, but actually do it. So tonight we are talking about the one topic that everyone absolutely hates to talk about, and that is inviting, because you cannot build this business if you are not willing to step outside your comfort zone. And so we know that you guys already have the foundation, right? You're an Emerald coach. You're hitting Success Club every month. That's the foundation, right, to the big business. Think about it like a house. You think about your dream home. You're like, man, that dream home, it's beautiful. It's this, it's that. But here's the deal. You can't have that house without that foundation. And so if you're not doing the 4 vital behaviors every day, which I'm assuming that everyone on this call is, if you're at this point and you're on this call, but the big thing within those 4 vital behaviors that people don't like is inviting. We want to passively invite. We want to post on Instagram and hope that somebody comments on it and says, yes, I want to join your team. Can I start tomorrow? And I'll work really hard and I'll put in an hour every day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And, oh, I want to be a diamond in a week. Like, that's what we are looking for so many times when we just passively post things. But we have got to get out of that mindset, guys, because so many times, and I'll share my own experience with you guys, I have really shifted my thinking in the past year in recruiting, and I honestly give kudos to Patrice on this call. She's one of my coaches, but I swear to you, she's my coach. Like, she coaches me. So she's really pushed me in this area. She's an athlete. One thing that she said, and some of you have heard her call or training that she does on recruitment, is think about recruiting and think about that word. Okay, think about inviting, right? Like in every other area of our lives, inviting and that word recruitment are good things, right? Like if I get an invitation to a wedding, I'm not like, how dare they invite me to their wedding, right? Or if I get, if an athlete who is pushing to, get a scholarship to some big SEC school, gets a recruitment letter in the mail, they're stoked, right? They're so excited. And so in this business, we've got to change our thinking and stop looking at inviting and recruiting as this scary thing. Because here's the deal. 90% of the time, when I ask someone, when it comes from a very sincere place, and I say, hey, God keeps placing you on my heart, and I know he's placing you on my heart for a reason, and feel free to say no, but I'm just curious, have you ever thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? Is that something that's ever crossed your mind? Or just saying becoming a coach? And 90% of the time, those people say, hey, no, I haven't, or yes, I have, but do you really think I would be good at it? So many times they're honored at the fact that I even asked them. I mean, that's happened with most of my coaches that I've recruited onto my team. When I've gone to them from a really sincere place, one of my favorite things to do, PS, is to send people an Instagram video personally to them. A lot of people don't do this, but you can send stories just to one person. So let me use an example of a girl named Kat on my team who became a coach last month. She hit Success Club 8 her first month as a coach. She's a trainer at a gym. We had started kind of conversating back and forth. It was never something where I said, hey, let me talk to you about Beachbody. We were just having a conversation. I said, hey, I saw that you're into fitness. Like, what do you do? And she's telling me about it. And I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that gym. We're having a great conversation, right? Like, I'm not coming from a place of let me recruit this girl. It's just hey, I want to get to know you. We're having a conversation. About 3 days goes by, and I'm literally just sitting in my room one day, and I randomly was thinking about her, and I was like, she would really make a great coach, Caroline. And so I sent her one of those video messages. So I'm like, 15 seconds. So I sent her like 5 of them. She was probably like, holy crap, who is this person? But I'm like, hey, and then it cuts off. But I'm like 5 messages in, and I'm like, basically I'm just telling her, hey, Kat, I keep thinking about you. I have no idea if this means anything, but I just can't get you off my heart and mind. Have you ever thought about becoming a coach? And, feel free to say no. It's all good. I just can't quit thinking about you, and I don't want to pass up the opportunity if God's putting you on my heart for a reason. From a really sincere place, guys. And of course, she's like, yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, I've never even thought about that, but that would be so cool. And it's just conversation. So we ended up setting up a call, and we did a Zoom. And so getting out of my comfort zone, making myself make that ask, and giving them permission to say no if it's not the right thing for them. I had another coach who was a challenger in my challenge group. She still had about 30 pounds to lose. And so I brought up to her, hey, have you ever thought about becoming a coach? You're so inspiring in our challenge groups. Like, you make me want to go work out. Like, that's what I told her. And she's like, really? Like, I mean, I've thought about it, but I thought I had to lose all my weight. And I thought, I don't know if people will think I'm inspiring. Like, those are the lies that we tell ourselves. And so I want you guys to think about recruitment. I want you to think about inviting as a good thing. Think about it as an opportunity to say, hey, you would be a great fit on my team. I want amazing women like you who love to encourage people. Don't go to them and say, hey, have you ever thought about joining a network marketing company and selling Beachbody products and, trying to get people to buy Shakeology and run a challenge group every month? No, like, you don't have to go into the nitty gritty. Like, opportunity, recruitment, inviting them to be a part of what's happening on your team. Because what you're doing is a really big deal, ladies, like a really big deal. And we have to stop belittling ourselves. I don't care if you're a brand new coach and you just joined Team Beachbody 2 months ago, you're changing lives, okay? And if you want amazing people on your team, don't just take the first person who comes along. Go find those amazing people. Tell them they're amazing. Invite them to be a part of what's happening on your team. So that's the really big thing I want you to hear tonight, is that you've got to step out of your comfort zone if you want to see growth in your business. You've got to stop thinking that conversations are just going to happen on their own. You've got to stop thinking that if you post something on Instagram and Insta stories, it's just going to happen. Do those things help it? Yes, because it kind of plants little seeds, but that's what it does, is it plants little seeds. When you're posting on Insta stories and you're dropping little nuggets about, hey, I'm on this income search call tonight, that's awesome. Oh, I'm talking to this person and I'm helping her lose her weight and I'm doing this, and you're sharing those little nuggets. But ultimately, that's not really inviting. That's just planting the seed in your head. If you don't go to that person and invite them to join a Look Into Coaching call, or join, a group that you have, or an opportunity call that your team is hosting, if you don't go to them and invite them, someone else is going to go water that seed. So you may be planting it, but another coach down the road is going to come water it. And so you've got to be proactive about going to those people and getting out of your comfort zone. That's what inviting is. Inviting is literally building relationships and telling them straight up, I really want you to be on my team. Let them know that, and that's good. That's going to make them feel good. That's going to put them in your shoes and let them feel that. So what we're going to do tonight is we're all going to get our phones out right now. Your phone and your calendar. So if you don't have it near you, go grab it. And what we're going to do is we're first going to look at our calendars and decide when this week, yes, this week, we all have time to do a Look Into Coaching, right? Like, you've all got time on your calendar. You might think this week's crazy. All you have to do is make a little Facebook group, call it Look Into Coaching, Snapshot Into Coaching, whatever you want to call it. They're all the exact same thing. And plan a time that you're going to go in there. It can be one video if that's all the time you've got. Or if you want to do it in video increments, like whatever you want to do within this. Plan a day this week that you're going to do a Look Into Coaching. If you do not have something that you're inviting people to, it does make it a little more awkward. But if you have an invitation, a place that you can invite them to, say, hey, come jump into my Look Into Coaching, no strings attached. I'd love for you just to come hear about this opportunity. It's going to really open up doors for you if you've got something to be inviting them to, instead of saying, hey, have you ever thought about coaching? And then it's like you don't have anything for them to come hear about it on, okay? So I want you to look at your calendar right now. So I got my phone here. I'm going to do my Look Into Coaching on Thursday and Friday. So I'm going to break mine up into a 2-day thing. And what I'll do is probably jump in there on Thursday evening, Thursday morning, and kind of introduce myself, talk about what is coaching. And then let's see here. I'll kind of jump in with some of the basics that evening about what coaching is. How you make money, what do we do, the day in and day out. And then what I'll probably do is Friday morning, jump in there and just talk more about like how you can be successful in this business, my personal team, how I like to onboard people and help them get started. So I want you all to be looking at your calendar right now, kind of deciding when you want to do all this. Now, what I want you to do, we're going to take the next 15 minutes, and I want you to do a post on your Instagram story and a post on your Instagram talking about the business opportunity. You don't have to mention the Look Into Coaching necessarily on your Instagram feed if you don't want to. Everyone's got different things they like to do, but at least invite them to the Look Into Coaching on your Instagram stories. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to all drop in the comments our Instagram handle and go show each other some love. And then if we don't have time to do this on here, it's okay. You can go do it later. We'd like to do it on here. So if that's even possible, some of you might be like, it takes me 20 minutes to write an Instagram post. If you need to do that part later, you can. But go ahead. If you want to do the post later, you can. But go ahead and make a list or go through your phone. I want you to just go into your notes section. So I hope everybody's following me here. I feel like I'm all over the place. Go into your notes section on your phone and write out a really sweet message of, hey, girl, I was just thinking about you. I'm hosting this Look Into Coaching on Thursday and Friday. Would you want me to add you to it so you can kind of learn more about my team? I know you had questions before, or whatever you want to end it with. I know I just keep thinking about you, or whatever. Copy and paste that, and I want you to send it to 15 people right now before the call's over. Everybody got that? Can everybody just hold a thumbs up or something so I can know that everybody's good? Okay. All right. We're going to go. So we got till 8 o'clock to all do this. And then if everybody can just in the chat box drop their Instagram handle, and then that way we can all go like it and show each other some love once we post it. And feel free to take yourself off mute if you want to talk about this as we're going. This can be a workshop type thing. One other tidbit too, guys, just to throw out there, y'all can keep working. I just was thinking about it. One thing that me and Patrice both do, and I think Lindsay definitely does. I'm not sure about Megan and Jessica, but I have an ongoing look into coaching group that goes on like all the time. So basically, every time I host a look into coaching, I just add all the new people in that same group. So basically, now I have like over 100 people in there, and the thing that's great about it is that, you know, if somebody joined 3 or 4 months ago when I had a look into coaching and they decided like that wasn't the right time, every time each month when I do a new look into coaching, they hear the videos again or they see me go live. So I've had a few people who have signed up to become a coach like down the road because they keep hearing the information. So that's just an idea. And you can take yourself off mute if you have questions about that or anything. Dang, Lindsay, you're on it, girl. Did you just write all that right then? Because if so, I'm like a failure at life.
No, so we do kind of like lead generator posts Monday and Thursday nights. And this week our focus is coaching. So I plan to post today during my work time. So now I need to do some stories, but no.
I love it.
I'm one of those people that takes a while, and then I have to have Jamie edit it because I like my grammar. Like people would be like, "Who is this girl?" So Jamie's my editor, and pre-done. No worries.
Girl, I'm so bad at grammar. It's not funny. Literally, my theirs is the worst. Like, I mess up there all the time. I had in my bio there written wrong for like 3 months.
You know, it's.
I'm like, sorry, guys. I promise I graduated from college.
Yeah, we're real people. It's all good.
How's it going, everybody? Anybody have questions or thoughts, or you're probably all thinking and I'm interrupting you? All right, ladies, take the last minute if you've had time to post. If you haven't had time to post yet, just take a picture of everyone's Instagram handles here and go show them some love before the night is over. As you guys can see, we are keeping these calls short and to the point, but hopefully this is helpful to jump on together and kind of just get something going, put something into action, take the next few minutes after the call and finish up. And I look forward to seeing you guys all here next week. Thanks, everybody.